the topic of our presentation was to basically share with the audience some thoughts on how we could amend our what is called our global governance architecture, the institutions and the mechanisms that we use for international cooperation. This is absolutely essential if we're going to be able to address the many complex global problems that we face today, which are our threat to our future. Climate change, the arms race, inequality, poverty. So I wanted to put before the audience some ideas as to how we could go about strengthening our mechanisms of international cooperation. I think that events like this one, this Digital Security Forum, are a great opportunity for connecting with other organizations who are working on some of these same concerns, right? Technological change, which is the overriding theme on, for digital security, is transforming the world. And it is doing it in response to the profit motive. It is doing it in response to human creativity. And those are, largely positive trends. But it's also creating many problems for us, such as disinformation, such as the spread of the mechanisms of information distribution, which in some places are undermining democracy. And this then it brings us back to the issue of governance. How do we come up with rules and with institutions which are going to protect the good that we have achieved over the last several decades, and we can build on those rather than undermine and destroy the institutions that we have, such as democracy. I have been attending these conferences for many, many years, and one of the great benefits of these conferences is the opportunity for what I call important conversations, meaningful conversations, where you come into contact with people who are working on similar issues. You become familiar with their work, you exchange ideas, you build relationships, and many of those actually can be very fruitful in the future. I am here in this conference today because I met one of the organizers in a similar conference, some months ago. As a result of those interactions, we have become friends, and we're working together on a number of issues. Right? So bringing in people together from different backgrounds, all of them intelligent, all of them working, with passion, with dedication, promoting their particular ideas, is a great opportunity for exchange, for conversation, and for strengthening cooperation. I think that the message that I take away from this is that we, civil society organizations in particular, need to work together. At the moment, the main mechanisms of improving the international cooperation are being led by civil society. They are not led by governments. There has been a massive change in the last several decades. If you go back to 1945 and the creation or the adoption of the UN Charter, that was largely a government initiative. Today, when you think at the main initiatives of international cooperation, the creation of International Criminal Court, the treaty on the prohibition of nuclear weapons, the Landmine Treaty of a couple of decades ago, all of these initiatives have been led by civil society. Governments are too busy dealing with the crisis today. They don't have the time, they don't have the energy, they don't have the predisposition to think about the long-term future. So who's going to do that for us? It'll have to be ourselves. And a conference like this, bringing dozens of organizations together, is a way of strengthening that process, is a way of building those partnerships so that we can then begin to put pressure on governments so that they can do the innovations and the reforms that are necessary. If we don't do this, we, civil society, if we don't do this, nobody's going to do it. And then what? Then we face crisis after crisis after crisis. The problem is that in a world that has become so interdependent, in which technology is such a powerful force, right? We run risks. We are entering dangerous territory. If we don't address the challenges of climate change, we're going to have huge crises, huge problems that are going to bring a great deal of pain and suffering to humanity. Therefore, we don't have a lot of time. There is a narrow window of opportunity, and a conference like this is an opportunity to build on those relationships and to try to get some reforms underway.